Hi, everyone. This is a statement of what I'm voting for this election day. This is what I want for this world. I don't accept the choices laid out for us. I don't cast my vote with them. I vote for the world to be run from universal law, for it to operate naturally, which is not at all the way in which it has been artificially manipulated to work for a very long time. So I'm going to make some simple statements on how universal or natural law works, how reality actually works, including what a truer story here on Earth is and what a truer game is. Then I'll lay out a plan for redistribution of resources and more. Currently, we have man-made instead of natural laws running the show, which has made everything backward and upside down. Truly 1984. According to natural law, everyone and everything is meant to win, thrive, and be fulfilled. Nature, God, goddess, reality, same, doesn't choose sides, because the first universal law is oneness. Thus, oneness, God, nature, wants everyone to win, since everyone is her. In nature, the feminine and women are meant to lead, and the masculine or men are meant to follow and to serve. When I say feminine or masculine, for feminine, this includes feminine embodied people, including people who are not XX chromosome, and non-binary and two-spirit people. So women and those who embody the feminine lead because we are the closest to the creative force. We are whole, and we see the whole. We have creative vision for all, for the whole family, for the whole community, the whole company, the whole world. All of my female clients, family members, friends, they've run circles around the men at the top of the pyramids that they have struggled to ascend. Heads at billion and 100 million plus companies, they knew more. They did better in that leadership position. Not to mention in all the families and communities, the feminine always ran circles around the masculine. The communities were more fun, they were more peaceful, more people won, and they were more productive. Feminine beings are multifaceted. We see what's good for the all. We are the life force itself. We give life to everything we touch, and the masculine is built to serve this. The masculine is more singularly focused versus multi-focused. And this makes sense in the position of following and serving. You can be more pointed in attention. Among men and males, there are dominance hierarchies in nature. There aren't naturally for women. Those have been artificially created. The natural hierarchies with males are meant to be determined by the feminine. She determines who is on top. And that is determined by how much the men or the masculine serves the feminine, the women, the children, and the community. That's how dominance is determined. These are natural laws, and they could also be seen as a natural game or a natural storyline. So currently, we're playing the unnatural game of zero sum on Earth. And it has always been a nightmarish Hunger Games society setup, because that is what happens in an artificially created zero-sum game, an extreme elite and the rest of us at levels of slavery. I'm here to blow the whistle on the zero-sum game. Game over. Because the game reality actually plays, the game Mother Earth plays, is everyone wins. In this game, if one person loses, everyone loses. This is based again on the first universal law of oneness. If your finger is infected, your heart, your brain, your nervous system, your circulatory system, everything is affected because it's, of course, one body. We are one body. So if my sister in the Congo, Palestine, in Chicago is hurting, I'm hurting, and so are you. There's also a truer story, a story where everyone wins, where everyone is fulfilled. Our past story has been that we are separate. There is survival of the fittest or zero sum, and thus war, oppression, violence, rape, and pillaging happens repeatedly. The whole earth is enslaved and colonized over and over. But the new story is 8 billion fulfilled people and a fulfilled planet, including all animals, plants, minerals, everything. Everything is alive, and everything gets to win. That is natural. That is the right game. So it's time for a great reset, this time of, by, and for the people. A great reset according to natural law. A new game, a new story. Here are the steps I see. This is the house cleaning we need to do. Number 1, all establishments must fall. All governments, corporations, financial institutions, religions, entertainment industry, royalty, the schools, it all has to go. They are all enslavement operations at this point. So the wheel stops. And there is no more ownership. Ownership itself is insane. It's like saying the right hand owns the left hand. Number 2, we turn the wheel in the opposite direction, in the direction it is meant to go on this earth ship. And it goes like this. The last shall be first, and the first shall be last. You might have heard that somewhere. So we take everything out of the hands of the oppressor, and we put it into the hands of the oppressed. We start with the most oppressed and harmed people on places on earth, women and children in the poorest, most cut off countries, communities, regions, villages, and neighborhoods. They are the first in line. You, women, girls, and feminine embodied folks, you get to retire. Where do you want to live? How do you want to spend your days? What would you like to eat? Where do you want to go? What would you like? You come first. And we go down the line from those who are most oppressed to those who are least oppressed, filling the cup with those who have been the oppressor's resources. There are, most of our women and girls are attached to men in one way or another. Your fathers, your husbands, brothers, friends. In going for what you want, you get to choose whether you stay connected to these men. Would you choose this man if you were completely free? Would you choose to be connected to him? If you're unsure, tell him what he can do to serve you. Tell him how he can help. Is he happy to do it for you? Do you like it when he does it? There's your answer. Number 3, all men or masculine embodied people who acknowledge this all to be true, that this is natural law, are asked to protect the women and children during this transition and always, as we give them what they want, as we flip the script here. Those who have been the oppressors, those who have hoarded resources, those at the top of the pyramid of all these institutions that I named, those people will hand over their resources to the most oppressed. Those who don't hand it over willingly and redistribute their resources of their own volition will be detained. And we are asking the men and the masculine who recognize that this is the right way to be the ones to detain them, detain the oppressors. And then we can go from there. This, men, is what you were built to do. You'll love it. You'll love to be of service. You don't have to lead anymore. You can simply serve as you are so incredible at doing. I want you to picture Galadriel in The Lord of the Rings handing out the tools to the Fellowship. She's telling you she needs your service. And she's telling you, as she does in the films, you cannot fail. We need your service now. For those who do not go willingly and are detained, one of my closest friends, Dr. Ramita Salidi, has recreated rehabilitation in prisons. She has brand new systems for this that are working very well. She was the head of the biggest criminal department, the head of behavioral health at Cook County Jail in the city of Chicago for many years, and now she runs a program at a juvenile detention center in DC. She will have it all mapped out for us, so you can go to her. Lastly, men with microphones and platforms, you can serve by handing your platform over to the oppressed people, to those who represent them. And you can, on your platform, call on the men to detain these billionaires, these royals, these heads of state, these heads of churches, and all those whom the oppressed deem are dangerous. We will be asking them. We choose. We tell you who has oppressed us. You don't tell us. Okay. Remember the end of Wonder Woman 1984, for those who saw it? Wonder Woman wins against a male oppressor who fancies himself God and is doling out everybody's wishes over a big microphone. And he sort of stole some magical powers, and everybody has to go through him to get their wishes met. So this is essentially the insanity that we live in. We have the masculine playing God, essentially doling out resources, when in fact everything on this planet is free. It could be the Garden of Eden again tomorrow. It is free. We don't need a middleman to dole out resources. In fact, please get those boots off our neck. As the film wraps up, the Wonder Woman film, Wonder Woman beats this man who's playing God. And she also beats the man apologist woman who turns out to be as hard or harder to beat. Women, ladies, don't be her. Don't be a male apologist in this. Give the microphones over to the more oppressed women if you find in yourself a desire to apologize for men. Don't. In order for Wonder Woman to beat these two opponents, she had to let go of her love of a mortal pilot, and she had to claim her power as a superhero. And then she beats the two opponents, and at the end of the film, there's a street scene, and it's just her in street clothes, and she meets another man, kind of a pretty boy, and she compliments him on his clothing. I was disappointed by this ending. I want the sequel. I want to see what happens when Wonder Woman and her sisters stop playing the fighting win-loss game and simply reset the world. Wonder Women and Wonder Feminine people, we are the superheroes. Let's use our powers for good and rewrite this world as we were meant to do. We are the writers. We are the first. We go first. This is a story. This is the truth. This is the law that is written in the stars and here on earth. This is our rightful place. As I like to say sometimes, the queendom of heaven is at hand. P.S. My friend and collaborator Carrie Taylor reminded me that November 5th, today, Election Day, is Guy Fawkes Day. Guy Fawkes was a part of the gunpowder plot that attempted to overthrow the House of Lords in 1605 under King James I. It's always celebrated as a good thing that he didn't overthrow the house. I think it's time for a new ending on Guy Fawkes Day. If you want to vote for this, you know the drill. Like, share, tag, and repost. And every one of those is a vote for this new and ancient way. Let's rewrite this thing. We can do it. Okay, go. Thanks for listening.